While he could get away with it in this trial, he will not get away with it in his own trial because he can be punished for that, and he can be, the judge can take that not kindly when it comes to sentencing.
Lied countless times. Repeatedly said that he didn't know / didn't remember to things that he clearly / probably knows. He avoided questions about having distributed on YouTube before Youngman.
Nothing stopping the judge from going all the way to the mat, but the minimum has dropped.
There was a time when the name Johnny Somali sparked nothing but outrage across the internet. Now he's making headlines again, this time for what looks like a full-on exploitation of South Korean law. And honestly, what's unfolding right now is starting to feel less like justice and more like a joke. But not the funny kind, the kind where you realize the punchline is just how broken the system might be. Let's talk about the reality here. Despite everything Johnny Somali has done, from stalking and harassment to blatant disrespect toward a foreign country, it looks like he's managing to manipulate the system to his advantage. And people are noticing. Take a look at the comment section. One person wrote, "This has been going on for so long, I forgot what Johnny even did." Another added, "I think he's going to get away with it." And perhaps most telling of all, one user said, "Courts are so unpredictable. He might actually walk free." That's not just commentary, it's concern. And it's growing louder. So, let's break this down. How is Johnny Somali using shady legal tactics in South Korea? And more importantly, could he actually get away with it? Let's begin with a bizarre detail. Johnny Somali is apparently trying to countersue his own victims. Yes, you heard that right. According to reports, he's pressing charges against people like Bong Bong and Dogun, the same individuals who helped expose his behavior. And not just that, he's trying to twist these charges into claims of stalking, despite overwhelming evidence that he's the one who's been doing the stalking.
And finally, he said he filed charges against 1 or 2 other people and mentioned Dogun, but not Bong Bong. So that's kind of interesting, because why would he say 1 or 2? Because we know he filed them against Dogun, but maybe the ones he tried to file against Bong Bong were not successful.
In fact, he's been caught live streaming himself harassing female streamers, especially Natty. There are receipts. There are dates. October 28th and October 30th, he was practically daring people to come find him. That's not the behavior of someone being stalked. That's someone actively seeking confrontation.
Johnny is pressing charges against Youngman for a whole plethora of things. The new ones were stalking, which is extremely rich coming from Johnny, because he was the one who live streamed himself stalking the female streamer Nanati. And then he admitted that he said, "Come find me," on both October 28th,
"Come get me,"
and October 30th.
"Come find me."
Essentially inviting the Korean streamers to go find him, which obviously mitigates the accusation of stalking.
Even Legal Mindset, a known commentator in the space, has voiced concern. He pointed out that Johnny straight up lied in court, and while he may skate by for now, that could come back to bite him during sentencing. According to him, judges can hand down up to 12 years if they feel the defendant is unrepentant or dishonest.
So that was a big lie. So it just shows he's going to get on the stand and lie. And while he could get away with it in this trial, he will not get away with it in his own trial because he can be punished for that. And he can be, the judge can take that not kindly when it comes to sentencing.
And here's the kicker. Johnny Somali hasn't apologized. He hasn't paid any restitution. He hasn't done anything that suggests remorse. All he's done is double down, file lawsuits, and manipulate legal gray areas. You want more proof? Let's talk about how he allegedly intimidated victims and twisted facts in court. He claimed one victim doxed him by leaking his address, yet couldn't even confirm his own address to prove it. He claimed others distributed harmful content before he did, then backtracked under cross-examination. He's been inconsistent, evasive, and borderline delusional with his legal strategy.
Estimate is 1 to 7 years. Now the judge, if he decides to lie on the stand, whatever else, can say, "Hey, I'm giving you the max, I'm giving you 12. That is still fully within the judge's discretion. There is nothing stopping the judge from going all the way to the max. But the minimum has dropped. So, okay, we're looking at somewhere between 1 to 7 years, something like that. Even if they're not treating it as aggravated, even if they treat it as default, right? I'm not going to say this is mitigated. This is not a scenario where this is a mitigated situation. He's never said sorry. He's never apologized. He's never paid anybody back. None of that's happened. So 1 to 7 years, still very, very, very reasonable. So this is what's going to happen with Somali.
But somehow he's still buying time. And let's not forget what he said on camera, taunting authorities, challenging people to come get him, and broadcasting his location as if daring the police to do something about it. This isn't someone scared of consequences. This is someone who doesn't believe consequences are coming. So, what does that say about the current state of the South Korean justice system? Well, it's not just critics in the West raising their eyebrows. Even South Korean citizens are starting to speak up. Some say the authorities look weak. Others say they've created a circus, a spectacle of bark with no bite. One comment reads, 112 years isn't long enough. Another one, Korea deserves him if they let him go. Harsh words, but in this context, they're starting to make sense. And don't forget, Johnny Somali isn't doing this alone. His sidekick, Hankyu, is still hanging around, enabling the chaos and proving that some people really don't learn. People expected better from him, but apparently that was wishful thinking. So, here's the core question. Is Johnny Somali winning? At the moment, it's hard to say. There's a chance the courts are just taking their time to build a case. There's also a chance they're being overly cautious. But time is exactly what Johnny is using to his advantage. Every day he's not behind bars is another day he gets to manipulate, mislead, and play the victim. And honestly, it's not just Johnny's actions that are disturbing, it's the precedent this sets. If someone can walk into another country, disrespect its people, exploit its legal system, and then turn around and sue their own victims, what message does that send to the world? If the goal is to uphold justice, this can't stand. Legal Mindset also pointed out something chilling. While Johnny might not get the full 12 years, the minimum sentence is dropped. That's not a great sign. If anything, it shows leniency when everything about this situation screams for the opposite. Let's be clear here. Johnny Somali is not a misunderstood influencer. He's not a martyr. He's not a social media provocateur. He is someone who has repeatedly disrespected a country, its people, and the rule of law. And now he's trying to turn that same law into a shield. And if this isn't addressed properly, if this isn't shut down hard, it won't be the last time someone tries to use this playbook. That's the scariest part. So now the ball is in the court of the South Korean justice system. Will they deliver accountability, or will they prove the doubters right? Will Johnny Somali walk away again, or will this be the moment where the system finally holds him to task? Because make no mistake, this is bigger than just one man. This is about setting an example. This is about restoring faith that justice actually means something. So, let me know what you think in the comments. Is this a clever manipulation of the law, or just a system too slow to react? And what kind of punishment do you think is fair in a case like this? Hit the like, drop a comment, subscribe, and I'll keep you updated as this story continues to unfold.